This is the Gatekeepers Podcast with Billy Grove. Billy is an innovative leader in the industry who loves teaching others how to build quality fence. So kick back, grab a cold beverage, and get ready to talk about fence. Today's show is sponsored by Mr. Fence Academy, National Metal Industries, and J.C. GURY. If you're looking to hit the next level in your fence company, check out Mr. Fence Academy. Real fencers, real job sites, real training equals real results. And now, live from the Mr. Fence Academy studios, here's your host, Billy Grove.
What's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing on this wonderful Tuesday, guys? What's going on, Fence Fam, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch? If anybody's watching on Twitch, I highly doubt they are. Just thought I would stream to another place as well. Guys, hope y'all have had an awesome past 7 days since we've last talked, seen each other. This will be the last podcast of the year. I got a best of episode that I'm going to roll for you guys next week, and then I'm going to make another one for New Year's Eve. I would like the time with my family, and I don't really see anybody watching my podcast at 7:30 at night on Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve. So there's that. Got some cool things in the works. Still coming for the podcast as well. I don't think my wife's guest, I think she might have forgot about us, or maybe she had something else going on. Didn't get it like an email, but we are going to have my wife on to pop in, say hello. First up, I want to go ahead and do my win and my loss for the week. My win, bro, I'm installing a Blackline HHP fence right now. I'm not going to it's not a giant backyard fence, but this is the most expensive backyard fence I have ever put my hands on. Freaking awesome material. Really cool stuff. Super, super, super black. Like, even got the wood grain in there. I can't wait to show you guys finished project or finished. I forgot the word. A finished product. There we go. I was about to say project, but no. My finished product. We got about 60% of it done. We got to do heights and gates tomorrow. And my loss for the week, I keep forgetting my damn silverware for my lunch, and I keep having to eat my damn lunch with my fingers. And if you guys don't know me, I have an electric lunchbox, so I bring my leftovers from dinner last night every single night. And most days it's not finger food friendly, so I've done it now 3 days in a row, today, Monday, and Friday. So that's my loss for the week. I got to stop eating with my fingers when I'm out there messing with dirt and fence and all that stuff. It's kind of gross. But I'm going to go ahead and get my wife on. And before I do, I just forgot that I had not thanked the sponsors. Guys, thank you, Mr. Fence Academy. Right behind me, the camera's going to follow my face, but right behind me, National Metal Industries and J.C. GURY. You can find those people at www.mrfenceacademy.com, www.nmifence.com, and www.jcgury.com. Go check them out. Go check out each and every one of them. Tell them I sent you. I don't get anything from it, but still, they are still my sponsors, so I'm going to shout them out. I'm going to bring my wife on. She's over there taking a selfie in the background. I can see it right now. She just flicked me off as well. But hey there, how are you, babe? Ooh, you are muted.
Hi.
Hey. I see you have your nice little Santa hat on.
It's sequenced.
So we were supposed to have Miss Marissa Driscoll on, but we could not get a hold of her, and we did not have her email address. Either something came up or she forgot.
She's very elusive. Not a
very
elusive.
Podcast. Very, very elusive. But if you guys knew all the work that she does behind the scenes for not just the fence show, but for the FWA, you'd be pretty amazed. Marissa's a pretty awesome woman.
She has multiple jobs other than that. Plus
I know, right?
Plus being a mom. So I'm not upset with her. She forgot. No biggie. I am going to get her. You hear me, Susan?
Yeah.
It will happen.
Susan, are you watching?
I don't know, but we talked about it earlier.
She's supposed to be at some sort of sports game or something going on right now with her son.
She's at an event for her son, yeah.
Susan, if you're watching, turn the phone off and watch your son play whatever he's playing. All right, you can rewatch the podcast later on. But all right, well, thank you so much for getting the idea or you and Susan getting together and starting your segment Spotlight of the Women in the Fence Industry. Guys, we're looking forward to 2025. It's going to be the best year yet for the podcast. We got a lot of things planned behind the scenes. And hopefully here shortly, my beautiful wife will be the one producing this behind the scenes as well after she gets done with her segment. So we still got a lot of things to put in place to make that happen, but it's going to happen. And yeah, you want to tell everybody Merry Christmas, Happy New Year?
Did. That's where I was going to go. I do plan on digging my feet in and being more part of everything, being more productive, helping you a lot more, not just at home, but with this. And yeah, I hope everyone has a wonderful holiday, Christmas, New Year, all the things, and much health and prosperity.
Heck yeah. Well, I'll see you in about an hour. Okay.
Yes, dear. Your food's cooking.
All right. Love you.
Love you.
All right, guys. I'm going to roll some commercials real quick, pay some bills real fast, and then we'll be back with Mr. Isaac Alexander from Your Bid Helper. Guys, if you haven't heard of him, we have recently checked into him here at High Steel. We had a huge commercial project, and our salesman Josh was having a little bit of trouble with it, getting it bid out. So we did actually check into him. I got him on the show. He's got years experience in doing commercial bids, commercial takeoffs. It's going to be a great show. Stick around. I'll see you guys in 2 minutes. All right. I should have had it pulled up already, huh?
National Metal Industries, a family-owned business for 70-plus years, has grown to be recognized for their ability to deliver on not just privacy slats for fence, but all types of fence products. National Metal Industries has all the hardware and tools to get the fence professional in and out of their job with the most ease possible. You can count on National Metal Industries for the most convenient resources in fence products. Visit nmifence.com for more information. As we like to say, you can always pick it right at National. J.C. GURY Signs and Decals has been a trusted name in the sign industry since 1949, with all manufacturing done in-house from start to finish right here in the USA. With 75 years in outdoor signage and roots dating back to the 1920s, J.C. GURY specializes in durable, high-quality signs and decals. In-house screen printing since the 1970s ensures every product meets the highest standards. Visit jcgury.com for more information. Every aluminum sign includes Mylar lamination at no extra cost, extending product life in tough outdoor conditions. For unmatched quality and longevity, visit jcgury.com.
All right, guys. And again, go visit www.nmifence.com. While you're there, get some cool stuff, get some privacy slats, some really cool privacy slats, get you some fence tools. He's got awesome chain link pliers, pretty cool tape measures. And then when you make your order, ask for one of those mailers that like Mr. Mike Levy has out of National Metal Industries. Also, guys, best sign company in the business. I'm going the wrong way. I always get turned around with this. J.C. GURY, guys, if you are looking for a fence sign and you're on the fence, about which sign company to go with, I promise you will not be let down with JC GURY. www.jcgury.com. Go reach out, get Heidi to give you some help with your sign, and go get you a real sign, one that doesn't fade in a year. I went the cheap route whenever I was on my own, and I got someone local because I was all about having the local people, get my money since I was local. And they're on my fence in my front yard, and after year one, they were white, and they're supposed to be black. So that's what it is. We have pulled up to High Steel Jobs, and they use JC GURY. We use JC GURY. Years later, they still look brand new. Go do it. Spend the money. It is free advertising for your company. www.jcgury.com. And guys, I'm done with my promotion spiel for the moment. We're going to bring on Mr. Isaac Alexander from Your Bid Helper. Man, I'm excited about this one. It's going to be a great show. What is going on, man?
Hey, thanks for having me on your show. I appreciate it.
Anytime, man. I was glad you reached out. Like an ask, because I was going to ask you here shortly, but you already took care of it. And as soon as you asked, I was like, absolutely, be on the show. I was gonna like reach out to you and ask, but man, that's freaking awesome. Tell everybody a little bit about where you're from, how your past 7 days was, and you don't have to give me a loss because I know that's kind of hard for some people, but just give me a win for your past 7 days.
Where am I supposed to start with?
Just start with who you are and where you're out of.
Okay, so I've been in the fence business my whole life. When I was I want to say 12 to 14, my dad started a fence company, and so I was working for him for the first 10 years of my life. Working for his company, which is actually still around today in Hesperia, California, the best fence company. My sister runs that. But now I live in Nashville, Tennessee. And I'm running Your Bid Helper, which is, helping with commercial and industrial estimates and that type of thing. So the last 7 days, so I just got back from a road trip to Northern California and then from Nashville, Tennessee. So yeah, never again. That was a really long drive. It was like 48 hours there and 48 hours back. And on the way there, I had to stop at a Starbucks to work for like 6 hours. On a customer's bid, and then on the way back, my car broke down for I want to say 6 hours. So it was just like 48 hours total. But no, besides that, I've been bombarded with a bunch of my customers telling me, "Hey, bid on this job, bid on this job, bid on that job." So I'm very happy about that. That's what I'm here for. So
heck yeah,
definitely.
Heck yeah, man. I love it. So before we get into it, what was your win for the past week? You said.
Oh, well, I mean, my win is kind of just having the business, having a lot of jobs to work on. And a lot of them are for January, but I'm like, okay, that's good. That means like I have to obviously work on the ones that are due right away. And then the ones that are in January, I can kind of schedule them in. So I definitely appreciate getting something in advance rather than like, hey, I need this by tomorrow, which, we can do that too. But it's always nice to, if everybody sends me something that's due tomorrow, that's pretty much impossible. But, but it's on a case by case basis. So when people send me stuff that's like bidding in January, I'm like, okay, I got a little bit of time. Like we can, schedule out accordingly. So,
yeah. Hell yeah, man. That's awesome, dude. I love to hear it. All right. So you touched on a little bit on your journey into the fence industry. Let's go ahead and just, dive into it, get a backstory. You said you started putting your hands on fence around 12 to 14 years. Take us from that 12 to 14 years old to where you are today and how you started out with Your Bid Helper.
Yeah. So, it was such a blast working for my dad's company because we'd be building fence Monday through Friday, and Saturdays and Sundays we'd be cleaning the truck beds, painting the truck beds. You know how it is, right? When you have a small fence company, it's always like there's always stuff to do. And some of my best memories is like fencing around 5 acres, and my dad and his friends would be tying the fence, and me and my twin brother would be hogging in the fence. It would be racing, like who's gonna win first? It's that was like so much fun, man. Just having that small family business and stuff. So I've been installing fence my whole life. Even when I have estimating jobs, I've been installing fence. I love installing fence. There's no joy like going and creating something with your hands. And like when you're really good at it, it's like even better because they're like, oh man, it looks perfect. You know, everybody loves it. It's just like one of those things that there's nothing else like it. You know, when there's there's nothing at the site, and then you go and you just make this fence and it's secure and it's strong and it looks good. I mean, there's really no satisfaction like that. You know, even being in the office and you sell $1 million job, it's not the same. It's not the same as like just going out and digging some holes and getting the fence lined up. But I'm definitely a fence person through and through. I've never had a job until moving to Tennessee. I've never had a job that didn't involve fence in some form or fashion. So I started estimating an Alcorn Fence. They're a company in Southern California. They do just commercial industrial work. They do the highways, the Melvin Gardner, and all that type of stuff. So I worked there for 3 years. That's where I kind of learned how to, break down plans and specs and that type of thing. And then I switched over to A1 Fence in Anaheim, California, and I worked there for 13 years. And that was a great job. It was 100% commission. So like, you didn't sell, you didn't eat. It's the way that it works around that, but which is like a two-edged sword. It's great, when the getting's good, but sometimes you put in the same level of effort or even more effort and don't get the results. So it's like the sales is one of those things. You can put in 80 hours and sell $500,000, and you can put in 20 hours and sell $2 million. It's like there's no direct correlation between the amount of work you do and the amount of money you make when you're in sales. So right. Yeah, so me and my wife decided to move from California to Nashville, and so I started working for Rio Grande Fence here in Nashville. I was a crew leader, a foreman, working for them, and then there was Fence Tech here in Nashville, and I had a customer with Eagle Fence out of Philadelphia, and the owner of the fence company, and she got a hold of me, and she's like, hey, would you be interested in estimating for us? And I was like, well, yeah, I mean, no problem, but I have tons of experience, and I feel like even though I'm out there digging holes every day, it's like I'm really smart. I know a lot of stuff. So it's kind of dumb for me to be out here digging holes. But, I'll do it. Obviously everybody does what they have to do to get by. So it's like it's not a problem. I love building fence, but I'm really smart, and I have a lot more to offer the marketplace. So it started with her in Philadelphia and looking at those projects. And then eventually I got a hold of a couple people in Texas who were using my business and, estimating service and stuff. So I was kind of doing it on the side. It was a really nice side income because I had my regular job, my 9 to 5, and then on the weekends and the afternoons, I took care of these bids. But so the company owner here is like third generation owner for Rio Grande. It's a big company. They have like, I want to say like 12 trucks. They do only commercial industrial. They don't do any residential. So it was a big company, and the owner decided that it was a conflict of interest. I didn't really see the conflict of interest because I was installing fence for them, and I wasn't estimating for them. I was installing for them, and they don't work anywhere outside of Nashville. So I was kind of like, I'm not bidding for any companies in Nashville. I don't really see the conflict of interest. But before my boss let me go, he hyped me up for like 30 minutes. Like, you're amazing, Isaac. This company can be bigger than my company. Like this is going to be a great idea. And so he basically released me to go do it on my own. And I wasn't really necessarily ready. It definitely was a very stressful time for my marriage and that kind of thing. So,
dude, I can totally relate because, like if you've heard my backstory, like I was a weekend warrior before COVID. Like I was a bartender, server, and then on the weekends I was a daytime bartender and a daytime server. I didn't work at night, do all that stuff. So then on the weekends I would go install fence so I could make extra money. Well, whenever COVID hit and we lost our jobs, I was like, I'm not going to be one of those people that take all this unemployment and have to pay it all back. I was like, I'm not going to do it. So I took one of those checks and I turned myself off from the rest of the checks to not get them. And we hit the ground running. It was probably one of the most scariest first couple months that I've ever had in my adult life. It was very nerve-wracking, and you're right, it does take a toll on your family life as well because if you're not making money, you don't eat. So
man, yeah, I mean, I praise God for a Western Fence in Phoenix, Arizona. Tom, he's the managing partner over there, and he was down an estimator, and he started I talked to him, I think it was like the next day after I was unemployed, and I talked to him, and he's like, oh yeah, we can use it right away. And he got like my lowest hourly rate because he was my first customer. So it's like yeah, cool. Like this is how much, it was really cheap, but I was like, I don't care because I need work at this point. I'm not like trying to, even now at my current rates, I'm not like making tons of money. I'm just trying to make a living. But at the same time, like, so I started working for him, and he started just sending a bunch of work my way, and I was like, all right, this is good, and so obviously I post on Facebook, I post the flyers about my business, about what we do and that stuff, and been getting like a lot of word of mouth. I work for some Superior Fence and Rails and Top Rail Fence and some of the bigger fence corporations that are out there. So when they have their weekly meetings, they'll mention me, and I'm like, cool, yeah. I mean, come on in. I'll work on your job. That's not an issue. So I'm very grateful for all the word of mouth and all the business that's been coming in. So I just recently kind of started doing a monthly subscription to where you can send me as many jobs as you'd like for one flat low fee, and so I'm really getting a lot of work coming in, especially from the subscriptions customers. So part of the reason that I did the subscription is so I could stay busy and get the work coming in. So I don't have like a ton of subscription customers, but the ones that I have are sending me a bunch of work. So I'm appreciative.
But hey, man, that is probably the best route that you're ever going to take, because it is a guaranteed paycheck for however long they signed up for the subscription.
Oh yeah.
So
well, the thing about it is, like, if it's a larger project, it could be $1,000 or $2,000 invoice for one project. Because if I'm spending 30 hours on something, it's like, it's going to take a lot of time. But that's the thing about estimating. It's like, if you're going through the addenda, you're going through the plans and the specs and reviewing all the information, this, for the most part, it doesn't happen in 1 hour. If it's a small job, I've had jobs that I've completed in an hour. I'm not saying I haven't, but for the most part, if you're going through and looking at everything the way you should be, it takes time. And there's not like a lot of shortcuts as far as like, looking for stuff. Like you can do the Control F, and search for the word fence or ornamental or gates. I mean, you can do certain things, but it's like really once you get down to it, it takes time to go through these things and to get all the details correctly. And I mean, that's what we do here. We get all the details and do the takeoff and the material list and, get everything ready for the customers. So there's some people that use us. We actually go on to their Plan Hub or their Building Connected and find the jobs. And then we break them down. Then we do the material list. The one thing we don't do is, well, I like to say the one thing we don't do is install the fence, but there's actually two things we don't do. So we don't price out the materials. We'll give you material lists, and I'll even email it to your vendor if you like, but it's like we do not do anything to do with materials. And then once we get the materials back, we will do an estimate and obviously send that to you and review the labor and the materials, the markup and everything. And we do proposals, and we do send proposals out to general contractors as well. So we can do all of those items, but most of the customers just require like a takeoff and a material list. Most of the customers are not requiring that full service, but we do offer that.
Right. Well, that's awesome, man. That is awesome to hear. We're going to jump into some comments before we move on to our next one. I'm not even going to try to pronounce this name. I'm going to butcher it. He says, looking forward to the show. Thank you so much for watching. Very much appreciate you from wherever you're from, guys. We do have viewers from all around the world. It's pretty crazy. I get to see the analytics. I mean, China, Russia, Germany, UK, Australia. We have a lot of different range of viewers. So glad you're watching the show. Thank you so much. We got, let's see, as Karen McManus O'Neill says, hi folks, happy December. How are you doing? I saw you watching the Women of FWA podcast earlier, talking with my wife. Looking forward to building some louvered fence. I don't know how I missed your booth at the fence show, but looking forward to meeting you at the next fence show. Can't wait for that. See, we got Miss Mark and Mary Kinda Cobb, JC GURY Ink Science and Decals. They say, hey, well, what is going on, everybody? There is my good friend, Mr. Evan Gardner. Billy, how you be? Man, I be great. I see you are doing great too. Quick little free shout out, guys. If you're in the Postmaster game or the channel post game, it doesn't matter if it's Z Post, Lifetime Post, Postmasters, go hit up Mr. Evan Gardner and get yourself a wingman tool. Get yourself a wing jack as well if you want to do some post height adjustments and pull them up and not have to break your back. Guys, he has an awesome product. It is hands down one of the coolest things I've seen. Super proud of where he's at with it. Go check him out. I don't got your website, man. I'm so sorry, but Wingman and Wingjack Tools, guys. All right, we got Miss Karen McMinnis O'Neill again says, gotta enjoy the Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve. Absolutely. And I feel like I don't want to have anybody, watching a live show on Christmas Eve or on New Year's Eve. I mean, probably better things to do than me watching the Fence podcast, right?
You'll be watching football. That's what they'll be doing.
There we go. Do something better than watch Fence podcast. But I mean, if you do watch my reruns, give me a like, a thumbs up, and just drop a comment and say, hey, man, thank you, all that. All right, we got JC GURY Ink Signs and Decals says, put a fork in it. That was probably a comment to something that we were talking about.
Probably to your lunch pail.
Oh, yeah. Eat with my fingers. Yeah. That was my loss for the last 7 days. Eating with my fingers for 3 days in a row. That was no fun. All right. Miss Michaela Patterson says, hey, Billy. Hey, Amanda. Hey, girl. How are you? I hope you have a wonderful Christmas and a happy new year. Looking forward to seeing you at this year's upcoming Fence show. Look at that. Speak of the devil. We got Miss Susan K. Worley in the house. She says, hey, y'all. Hey, girl. How are you? We need to chat soon. It's been a couple weeks, so let's do that soon. But all right, guys, there's all the comments for the moment. We're gonna get back to the show. If you would like, drop us a comment. Let us know you're watching. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me questions. If you have any for me, for Isaac, and we'll get to them periodically. All right. So we're gonna skip the next talking point because you did touch on that. Your jump to Nashville, and you pretty much explained it very well. So your bid helper today. Give some of our viewers some insight on the company. Is this like a commercial chain link only type thing? Can I get you to do a wood back or like a wood fence for Mrs. Jones's backyard or?
Oh, so it's no, we don't do any residential at all. So we do the temporary fence and we do commercial work. But as far as products, it's very rare that I come across a product that I haven't used or installed because I've been in the fence industry so long. But actually this last weekend, I was working with MW Fence out of Joplin, Missouri. And we actually bid on a concrete wall that I was not familiar with. But we were able to get all the specs and talk to the manufacturer and get stuff figured out. Okay, this is what we're going to do our bid at, And so, but we'll do horizontal wood, any kind of wood fence, any kind of iron fence, any fence at all, really. If we break down the materials down to every post, every cap, every yard of concrete, like everything that you need for the job, like we break it down. So nice. I have run across things that like our architect designed and like really off the wall. And so some of my customers, it's very interesting when you work with people because you kind of get to know their personality. And some of them are like, oh, $300,000 job, that's really big. I wouldn't want to bid that. And other people are like, yeah, $2 million, let's just bid it. Like some people are like all about those big jobs. And other people are like, oh, no, I would rather pass on something that's going to be that big. So it's just kind of interesting. But I'm here to help people bid whatever they want. So I just want people to realize like our service is like super affordable. And I mean, I've done about 80 invoices to people, and our average invoice is like less than $500. So people aren't paying thousands and thousands of dollars to get this help. So, but basically, any kind of commercial project that people are working on, or industrial, or anything like that, we don't do anything to do with residential. So
I gotcha.
So general contractors for the most part, or with the city or the county or whatever the case may be.
I gotcha. So it doesn't matter what type of fence it is, as long as it's in a commercial setting then.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, the main reason for that is that the commercial jobs have plans and specs, and the bid package that needs reviewed. So that's basically, we're doing all the work remote. We don't go onto any sites or anything like that. So, most of the time residential jobs don't have the plans and specs and all that type of thing. So.
Right. Absolutely. Now, whenever you're doing these bids, And then, like I heard you talk about yards of concrete. Are you doing bids for anybody doing driven system posts and just swapping out the concrete for longer posts, or are you strictly?
So I have never. So we're typically bidding per the plans and specs, and all the plans and specs I've ever seen have been like digging holes and putting concrete in.
Okay.
So, but we don't actually. I know some of the companies that we work with do the no dig, but I haven't been asked to bid on a no dig project yet. So
okay, all right, cool.
Where I'm at with that, but I mean, I'm open to it. I think it's a great idea, because it's stronger. I mean, it's going to be faster. I mean, I think it's a no-brainer to do the no dig, but I know that there's a lot to changing like an architect or an owner's mind as far as that's concerned. Ameristar did a really good job as far as like getting in all the specs and getting their product out there, to be specified and that kind of thing. And I think somebody unfortunately has to put money into it, right? To get the no dig, realized and accepted by the architects and the engineers, and for that idea to become, mainstream and, to see it commonplace. I think that people would need to reach out to the design departments, right? So that, I think as far as where we see that in the commercial projects, it may be a few years, before we see that. Even though I think it's like a no-brainer. Like, who wants to haul away 10 yards of dirt? Believe me, I've shoveled yards and yards and yards of dirt and hauled it off to the yard, and we picked up the yards of dirt. We put them on a forklift with some cardboard, and we, dump it into the dumpster. All the dirt. It's like, it doesn't make any sense at all. But I mean,
sense whatsoever.
That's the way fences have been traditionally done. So until one of the fences I did here in Nashville actually was at a brick yard, and we were digging all these red bricks out. Even 3 and 4 feet deep, there was red bricks all in the ground, and like we're having to dig these big holes for this the Trex fence. It was a 8-foot tall Trex fence.
Yep.
And, so we're taking down 200 feet of chain link, installing, putting temporary fence up, and installing the Trex fence. And man, that job was at an old brickyard. 100 years ago, there's a brickyard there, and man, every single shovel full of dirt had red bricks in it. It was like, wow, this is insane. This is crazy. That like 4 feet deep, there'll be like red bricks in the ground.
That is pretty wild that there were still bricks in the ground 4 feet deep. That means that place has been there for a long time, and a lot of dirt has been added to that ground.
Yeah.
Like, that is pretty wild. Hey, I got something also pretty wild for you as well. It says, I'm his twin, bro. Don't know why my name's messed up on here.
Oh, well, yeah, his name's really messed up on there.
That's funny, man. I saw it pop up and I was like, okay, all right, that's who that is. Well, twin, nice to have you watching, man. Thank you so much. Your brother's doing some pretty cool stuff in the fence industry, man. I got to say that.
Yeah, I mean, well, my brother, he works in Northern California. And so this year, he's close to $1 million a month in sales for just individually for his company. So it's like, man, they're doing big things over there.
$1 million a month?
Yeah. I think he's at 11 million right now. So
good job, dude.
That's his individual sales. So,
that's awesome.
It's a huge company that nobody's ever heard of in Northern California. They're just making a lot of money. So he does the same thing I do, estimating and project management, but he's obviously working just for one company. So
right. So speaking of that, what's your target client audience? Are we looking for companies that are trying to break into the commercial world and don't have a very well-versed salesman? Are we looking for bigger companies who just don't have the time to break off and do 30 hours worth of sales work a week?
So I'm actually I will work for anybody and everybody. So I have clients that are like mom and pop shops, just very, very small. And they use me like once every 3 or 4 months. And that's how often they use me. And it's like, I don't care if someone's going to send me something once every 6 months or if they're going to send me 2 jobs a day. Like, I don't care. Honestly, I have no preference at all. So like, if somebody's like, oh, I want to bid on commercial, but I'm really, really nervous, I don't want to miss on something. I've had many, many clients send me jobs after they sold them. They already got the contract for this job, but they just want to take a second look and make sure they got everything, make sure that they're not missing anything. So, and I'm here for whatever anybody's need is. So it's like if you need like a lot of hand holding and you want me to walk you through the entire process, like I'm good with that. And if you're just like, oh no, we do all our own estimates and proposals, we just need a takeoff, like I'm here for that too. Like whatever people need, that's what I'm here for. So I'm really trying not to do like submittals. I do have the capability to do submittals, but I'm like, I really want to be busy enough with bids and estimates that I'm not working on submittals. So, but I mean, I'm here if people really need submittals done and they don't know how to do them and they need help with them. Like I can help with that as well. So,
right.
I mean,
Right. That's awesome, man. That is awesome to hear. Did you see yourself doing something like this, or was it just really kind of like just dropped in your lap?
Oh man, so I really yeah, I mean that's a good question. So I enjoy estimating and project management, and I've dealt with a lot of things. So like the thing is, we have like a competitive bid environment. So anytime we're like bidding a job, like so one time I was bidding a Burlington coat factory in San Bernardino, California, and we bid the job and we bid the gate automation and everything, but like we listed because it's a competitive bid environment, we had to like bid stuff separately. So like we bid the gate automation as one line item, but we had to bid like the UL 325 compliance as like another bid item, because obviously if they're comparing apples to apples and somebody else is just putting in an operator, then we're charging $15,000 for all the safeties, right? The wire mesh and the extra things that they need. So I really feel like with my experience in the fence industry, and even like with bidding a job that has structural calculations, which is something that's kind of more common these days, is so I kind of can help the customer know like the right way to bid that job, because obviously you can't bid it with the calculations already factored in because they haven't been done. So like, but there's a certain way that they can like structure the proposal to minimize their risk and to still get a good opportunity, get a good chance for the job. But I never really, so I've always seen myself in the fence business. And like I said, it all came back to when I was working at Rio Grande and I went to the fence show, and I was just walking around in Nashville, here where we live. And I was like, man, like I felt like there's more, for me, there's more to life than like digging holes and installing fence, even though I enjoy it, even though like it's great, and I'm pretty good at it. Now I got like thousands and thousands of pictures of all these different fences that I built. You know how we are, like we're obsessive. I mean, I printed like thousands and thousands of things. So at one time when I had my own company in California, I was actually installing fence for Home Depot as well, but that was like residential, obviously. But yeah, I never really knew. So my long-term vision for Your Bid Helper is actually to have like, so I'm focusing on fencing, for the next year. I'm not thinking about anything else but fencing. But my long-term vision is for like to have a plumber and like an electrician. And so we can actually have people who are experts in their trade, experts in their field, that are bidding on the commercial jobs and, working on those things and helping out, like maybe a landscape company, maybe a grading company. But the whole thing is like having an expert, because like my brother Jeremiah, who works in Northern California, he gets like 10 requests a day from different estimating companies. And I'm sure you get them, and all kinds of people get emails every day from these estimating companies that basically they do general estimating. It's more like a general contractor type thing, I would think, because they're like offering to take down like every scope of work and that kind of thing. But like the whole secret sauce to the Your Bid Helper is like like I'm a fence guy, so I'm working on fence bids. But at some point in time, I want to see the company take a next step to where it's like, okay, we have an electrician, we'll work on your electrical needs. We have a audio video guy, like having people who are basically experts in their field, who have the time and the willingness, to work on those type of things and to break it down and do that. So that's my long-term vision for the company. But
that's awesome.
Right now, like when you have your own business, there's like 10 billion things to do. And so I just actually hired on someone to help me out. But even with somebody helping me, there's just so much to do. There's so many things to do. It's like I don't want to do what's it called when you collect money?
Accounts receivable.
Yeah, accounts payable. And I'm like I don't like calling and emailing people like, hey, it's been 3 weeks, it's been 4 weeks, it's been 5 weeks, but it's like, well, nobody else is gonna do it, and I need the money. So it's like, and I did the work. So I mean, at the end of the day, it's like when you're a entrepreneur, you're wearing all the hats.
Oh yeah.
So,
absolutely are. Real quick, we're gonna hit 2 comments. JC GURY Signs and Decals says, "Are you guys going to Fence Tech?" That is a question that I don't have an answer for at the moment. I'm not going to dive into that. But are you going to Fence Tech, Mr. Allen?
I mean, I want to. It's really tentative. So there's like a lot going on in my life right now. So if I can get everything, hammered out, definitely, I want to be there. I want to go.
Oh yeah. And then Mr. Robert Evers of Two Smooth Operators podcast. You guys go give him a like and a watch. Oh, I skipped that one. He says, I was doing gate tech training in Knoxville, Tennessee 2 weeks ago. Looks like a good market for fence and gate work.
Definitely. So the company I work for, Rio Grande Fence, they actually opened a second location in Knoxville. So they're here in Nashville. It's a 3rd generation owner company, and they opened a branch in Knoxville because they obviously felt the same way as Robert. There's a lot of work out there. So
nice.
Definitely.
And have you done any bids for your old company yet?
What's that?
Have you done any bids for Rio Grande yet?
Oh no, I have not. No.
Dang, no. That would be like the feather in the hat right there, buddy.
Well, I actually just got my first call from a customer in Tennessee, so I was like, cool. I have like 6 in Texas, 6 in Indiana. I got Massachusetts and Florida, and all these. I have 11 different states right now, and my goal is actually to be in all 50 states.
There we go.
One company, but not that it's real relevant because obviously my goal is to make a living and that side of things. But if I can get one customer in 50 states, I think that'd be awesome. But I was super happy when Top Rail Fence actually called me in Chattanooga, and they're like, "Hey, can you look at this job?" And I'm like, "Yeah, they're in Tennessee, woohoo!"
That's awesome, man.
Cross another one off the list.
There we go. Just cross them all off till you hit 50, right? That's
yeah,
awesome, dude. I love it.
Then we can officially. I mean, I already have Florida and California, but then we can officially just be in every state.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Well, hopefully we will get you there. Guys, go check out Your Bid Helper. We got Miss Karen McManus O'Neill says, all the hats. Great service you offer, Isaac. That's awesome right there. Guys, real quick, we are going to do a commercial break. We will come back for closing thoughts and where we see ourselves next year for 2025. Stick around. We'll be back in 2 minutes. Okay. And again, I didn't have them pulled up.
National Metal Industries, a family-owned business for 70-plus years, has grown to be recognized for their ability to deliver on not just privacy slats for fence, but all types of fence products. National Metal Industries has all the hardware and tools to get the fence professional in and out of their job with the most ease possible. You can count on National Metal Industries for the most convenient resources in fence products. Visit nmifence.com for more information. As we like to say, you can always pick it right at National. JC GURY Signs and Decals has been a trusted name in the sign industry since 1949, with all manufacturing done in-house from start to finish right here in the USA. With 75 years in outdoor signage and roots dating back to the 1920s, JC GURY specializes in durable, high-quality signs and decals. In-house screen printing since the 1970s ensures every product meets the highest standards. Visit jcgury.com for more information. Every aluminum sign includes Mylar lamination at no extra cost, extending product life in tough outdoor conditions. For unmatched quality and longevity, visit jcgury.com.
Man, I freaking love those commercials, guys. Again, go hit up www.nmifence.com. Get you some privacy slats. Get you some fence materials, some fence tools. While you're there, ask Mr. Mike Levy of National Metal Industries to send you one of his cool mailers, because they are the coolest mailers I've ever seen. You got every type of fence in there with a QR code. They got all their tools with a QR code for each tool that takes you straight to purchase now, buy now sites. Also, guys, go check out JC GURY if you're in the market for a sign. www.jcgury.com. I just got a text message right before the show started from Mark from JC GURY. My signs are starting to be printed. I cannot freaking wait, guys. Whenever they get here, I'll have 250 or 275. I'll be giving them away at fence shows. If you want to trade signs, we can trade signs. And then if you want to buy one and help support the show with $10, Venmo me $10 and I'll send you one out. But other than that, if I see you guys out at one of the fence shows or fence gatherings, I'm going to have a backpack full of signs. You're probably going to get one. Okay. So for the most part, you can get it for free. But if you would like to support the show after I get the signs, hit me up. I'll send you a Venmo link. $10. I'll get it shipped out to you. These are collector signs. They're not like regular fence signs. They're pretty cool. Can't wait to get them. But with that said, what does 2025 have in store for your Bid Helper? Like, I know you talked about branching out to other, services offered, but that's obviously going to take a lot of pawn moves back and forth.
For 2025, I'll be focusing on fence for sure.
Okay. I was about to say, what is your next 365-day goal instead of your next, 3-4 year goal?
Yeah. So I brought on one person to help me on a part-time basis, so I'm hoping to find one or two more people to help me, because the way the work comes in, sometimes there'll be 1 week and I'll have no jobs to work on, and there'll be 1 week where I have 25 jobs to work on. And I mean, I'll work weekends and late at night, like I have no problem with that. But the thing of it is, like, one person can only do so much. So That's why I'm like, I could really use it when things, really start coming in. Like, I hate that I don't want to be so overwhelmed with jobs to bid that I'm not going out and getting more jobs to bid. And, so that's the whole thing is, like, with business, sometimes, like, you might have a week or two that's slow, and then the next certain months or certain days, everybody wants their job done, like, right away. So it's like trying to figure out the flow of it, and obviously, keep people happy at the same time, right? So it's like that's why I need people who know what they're doing, obviously, like, coming in and helping me with our process. So we download, if there's like 100 plan pages, we go in and find the 5 that have fencing, and we highlight them and we measure them, and we only send the customer, like, if there's a 1,500 page spec, we send them the 5-page fence spec, right? So we're basically giving them a package with all the pertinent information for the fence. So I'll spend, however many hours it takes, 2 to 10 hours, whatever it is. And so they can hopefully spend 30 minutes and they can understand. And then, of course, I'm always available for a video call or a phone call or emails via question. Like, obviously, this is not a process where we finish our package and we send it to you and then this is game over. Like, we're obviously here so we're all on the same page, so we all have a good understanding of the job moving forward. So some people, like, want to have a video conference after every single job, and other people just like, hey, I got a few questions about this one, and they just send me a few emails. And however people want to do it. Like, I'm not here saying we're going to do everything this certain way. Like, we want to help you get the value. That's what it's got to be.
Basically, it's got to be tailored to each and every client. I mean, especially with doing bids in multiple different states, counties, all that stuff. Everything's different, right?
Yeah, and I mean, half the time, many jobs, people are giving that. Some jobs they're saying they want steel fence and aluminum fence. And other jobs are, like, missing information. It's like we're always dealing with these things, right, as fence contractors. So it's like we have to obviously, like, work through a lot of the issues. I wish that we could just start the job and then finish it, but that's like 50% of the time that you could do that. The other 50% of the time is like, well, we got to ask the contractor questions because there's, like, no clarification, and that's just part of the process, because when they design the fence, they don't think about a lot of things. So
right.
But 2025, hopefully we can increase the revenue. Right now, I'd be better off, like, working for a fence company, and I'm hoping, like, with 2025 coming in, that I would be able to bring enough revenue in and bring some people in to help me to where we can have a viable business.
There we go.
Because I I hate to have to like say goodbye to Your Bid Helper and work for someone else, but at the time, right now, it seems like a viable option. But I'm hoping not. I'm hoping that
keep pushing, man. Keep pushing,
my
man.
business and support the family and bring value to people and continue to grow it. So,
all right. Well, hey, drop. How do we get a hold of you? I will put it in the comments. What is the email that people can find you at?
It's super, super easy to get started. I don't have any paperwork for people to sign. Like, my email is yourbidhelper@gmail.com. And all you have to do is like forward me a bid invite and I'll start working on it. I mean, it's super duper easy. We don't have any kind of, well, obviously I'll tell you the rates that we have and how much we charge and that kind of thing. But as far as, it's yourbidhelper@gmail.com. I still need to get a Facebook and a website and all that kind of stuff. But, right now I'm just working on bids.
Well,
that's what this is for. And that's what I'm going to be doing. So.
Well, let's get that Facebook site rolling first off. First and foremost, that's what we need to get going first, and then we'll get a website. But you got any closing thoughts for everybody?
No, I mean, just make the best of it. Make the best of what you got going on.
There we go. Well, hey, man, I very much appreciate you coming on tonight. Great show, guys. You have a great product. Go check out Your Bid Helper. Send Mr. Isaac Alexander an email if you need any help with your commercial bids. It's going to be right down. I always screw this up. Right down there.
Yeah, you got it.
yourbidhelper@gmail.com. Send them out a email, guys, if you need any help with specs, bids, going through all of the commercial contracts. This man is a true professional at what he does. And man, that's all I got. And again, thank you so much for coming on the show. Would love to have you back on again. And when I get those collector fence signs, I will be shipping you one. And I hope to see you in either Salt Lake City or Las Vegas next year in 2025. All right.
Sounds good. Thank you so much.
All right, brother. Hey, man, nice talking to you. And thank you so much again. All right.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right, guys. Awesome show. Let's see. Sorry, I'm starting the outro music. Guys, again, go check out Your Bid. I'm going the right way. yourbidhelper.com. or yourbidhelper@gmail.com. Send Mr. Isaac Alexander an email if you have any questions or if you would like a commercial bid, help with the commercial bid, specs, takeoffs, contract wording, all of that stuff. With that said, guys, Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. I will not be live next week or the week after. Like I said earlier, it's Christmas Eve next Tuesday. It is New Year's Eve the Tuesday after that. Got some pretty cool best of shows lined up for you guys, for y'all who are still going to watch the Fence podcast on Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve. No hate, no shade thrown whatsoever. I'm not going to be doing it. I can't wait to see you guys in 2025. Y'all have a wonderful rest of your Tuesday night. Guys, Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. We'll see y'all next year, all right?